I have no skill. Can I start freelance without the skill? If you really want to freelance and you don't have skill to start, I have a good news for you. You actually can start freelancing without the skills. And I'm gonna explain you why and how to do that, even tell some examples. But to get there, we need first to understand some conceptions of freelancing and some of the things behind it. Because I had a misconception back in the days. Before I even started to freelance, I always thought that, freelancing is more for people who already have well-developed skills. They already have something to sell and they doing great. They have their skill. Maybe they already have, some clients with whom they are already working, and they can afford themselves just to have, that free lifestyle and sell their services to whoever they want with whatever price they want. But no, in reality, it's not like this, and you should understand that any freelancer, the only difference between him and the person who is hired and who's working like 9 to 5, the only difference is that freelancer find work, find clients by himself, and that's the only one difference. And it have nothing to do with because I also had that in my head, the vision of freelancers as those hipster guys who live in minimalistic apartments, have their table, with maybe some fake green plant on it, and they're like, in the morning they drink their coffee and start their work, and open laptop, click, few thousand made. Now we can go outside to the restaurant and wherever. Of course, it's not like this. The point is, there are a lot of course, as always, there are a lot of guys on the internet who benefits from, romanticization of freelancing, who benefits from saying to you, like, oh, look at this, freelancing is a dream, you can live your dream life if you will start to freelance, and for that you can just, buy my course and start freelance. I want to answer questions here, and I want to answer questions here to those who are seeking for answers on those questions. Today's question is, can I start freelance without a skill? I started without a skill, and that's the thing that actually could be your advantage. For example, I'm a video editor, and I started to work as a video editor without skills. I didn't know how to edit videos, but I was just learning on the go. I was simultaneously learning and getting some clients, and I was able to deliver simple tasks and already earn some money even without really having well-developed skill. And that's the point that a lot of people don't understand about freelancing when they're thinking about starting freelance, and they think, oh, I need to have some skill to do that. But here's the truth. Not everyone needs a professional. Not everyone needs, that good, amazing specialist with a lot of years of experience, tons of certificates or whatever. No, because a lot, and I would even say most of the clients, most of the people, when they go to the, for example, freelance platforms, or when they start to, search the internet and trying to find someone, or they start asking the friends, maybe someone who, good marketer or video editor. Most of them not looking really, really professional, and most of them just want someone. And I believe that every person with his skill set have perfect match client. So every freelancer could find his client. Even if freelancer don't have any skills, he can find a client that want him because of specifics of his skills, of his communication, of his price and quality. And I told you that you have advantage if you don't have skill, and that's the advantage of being able to provide not very expensive service while learning. So imagine you learn animation, and anyway you need to practice. So you check the course, they told you how to animate certain shapes and figures, and in any case you need to practice it. You need to do something by yourself just to, you know, improve those skills, just to put those skills in practice and remember it. So you can find clients who will pay for it, and eventually you will practice your skills and you will gain money, you will gain like reviews, reputation, and you know, like in GTA, like respect plus. But if you have well-developed skill of animation, of course you will be like, oh, I will not do that animation for such a cheap price. No, I will search for a better client. No. Maybe I went a little bit out of the topic, but coming back to the question of how to start without the skill, the very fast and very simple answer would be learn a skill. Anyway, you have to learn something. And here's the thing. You learn in skill and you practicing it on the go with the clients. And the point is, don't wait, you know, until your skill will be good enough. Because I see that a lot of times people improving the same skill. They wait until they will be on that spot when they already on that spot could find the clients and build the reputation. Because you should understand that when you start be a freelancer, when you start to sell your skills by your own, it's not only about delivering the product. You need to present yourself, you need to position yourself, you need to find your people, you need to find your clients, you need to like find your niche, and you need to understand how to communicate with the clients, how to communicate with the potential clients, which things works well, which things not works well. So you have so many things to do that it would be super frustrating for you if you working on your skill to reach that moment. And once you feel like, okay, I have skill to sell, you go to the market and you realize that you have no idea how to find clients. And all you can find is just cheap, low quality clients, and you get disappointed and you're like, oh, market is so heated, like there are so many freelancers, there are some Indian guys who doing it for $5. Oh, damn, like how you can compete. When in reality, I will share you a secret. It will be between us, okay? Most of your competitors are garbage. As simple as that. I was looking for video editor, and I posted a job on Upwork, like, okay, I'm looking for a video editor, and I even posted, I wrote, I don't need professional, I need some amateur, someone who have decent skills, because I need, like, how you say it, like assistant, basically. So I just wanted to delegate some of my boring tasks to him, so I was okay even if freelancer don't have video editing skills. And I received something like 50 proposals, 50. And most of them, they were trying to convince me that they're top-notch specialists with like 30 years of experience when they're like 25 years old, and you know, saying about certificates, about the education, all the stuff. I don't care, dude. I don't care. Just tell me, man. I know what you want. I see, like, you wrote what you want. I just read it carefully, and I see that you just need a guy who will cover your part of your tasks. Here, I'm here. Here may be something that I did before. Let's do this. Out of 50, it was only two people who were more or less relevant, and I hired one of them. You see, very big problem, not the skill, but knowing how to present your skill, how to sell your skill. And that's a separate skill that you need to learn. And it also takes time, it takes a lot of practice. So that's why you have advantage when you start freelancing without the skill, because you can start with learning skill and also learning how to sell. And together they grow, and you have that you know, very healthy growth of your revenue and of your skills. Because if you put too much effort into just skill itself, and will not start for a long time, you then will suffer with, you will feel that you're underpaid. That's the problem. So I promised advices, and here are advices in the short list. First of all, for every specialist with his skill, with his quality, with his price, you can find a client. That should help you on any stage, the understanding of this. You always have a client for you. You have client, you have person somewhere who looking for someone to do his job, and that someone is you. He's looking for you and he can't find. All he can find is shitty freelancers who doing bad work, because a lot of people complaining about that, like, oh, there are so many bad clients. But if you try to be a client, you will understand that the problem on both sides. There are so many bad freelancers who don't doing good job. And that's funny thing. As I said, most of your competitors are garbage. And in order to outcompete them, you don't need to be really good. You don't need to be amazing. You just need to be okay. If you're doing your job good, and if you have ethics behind your work, that's it. You're already better than 90% of people out there. It's not that hard. Second thing is just start. Just choose any skill, any. You don't need to, you know, some people, it's just absurd. Right now, it's much harder to choose the skill rather than serve the skill. So just choose anything. It doesn't matter. If you don't like it, okay, you will later change it. Just choose something that you like, or at least you don't hate. That's it. And start to search for the clients. In any case, it will take a lot of time to understand how to find clients. So you just start. Third thing, lower your expectations. As I said, it will take time to learn how to find clients, how to deliver better, how to do your skill, because you also need time to learn your skill. It's also important. Keep in mind that 9-to-5 job will be always initially better than freelancing or better than doing your own business. That's why a lot of people don't want to do it. Because initially, 9-to-5 job is better. Always. But it's not always worth it. And the last thing is learn. Learn. Learn your skill, learn how to provide your service, learn everything. Learn how to live your life, because life of freelancer is a little bit different from life of the 9-to-5 job person. You also have other struggles to deal with. So learn. I have already script for another video on how to shift better. So check my channel, maybe I already posted it. And if you would ask, how much time it took to me to starting from zero to reach the moment where I earning fine or enough to live more or less comfortable. 6 months. I made a video where I share my first year revenue from the freelancing, and I think that's what separates me from a lot of people on YouTube who sharing the freelancing stuff, that I didn't have any skill. I started from complete zero. I never do freelancing before, so I used to be a bartender. And then someday, because it was COVID and I wasn't able to work as a bartender, I started to learn how to be a freelancer. And I didn't have any skill, and I even was like in another country, not where I live most of my life. And if I can do, you definitely also can do. And half of year, I think it was too much. You can do it shorter and faster if you will learn better. But yeah, if I did it, you definitely can do it. Such a good weather, such a good forest.